Hello and welcome to Assembly Time. My name's Mr. Davis and I wonder, how good are you at making choices? Ever felt like you were going in the wrong direction? Well, the man in my story today is about to find out what happens when you finally start going in the right direction. Well, the waves were crashing against the boat, the wind was howling, there was thunder and there was lightning, and this man thought, what am I gonna do? Stop. Wait, sorry, you should always start stories at the beginning, shouldn't you? Let me rewind back and tell you about this man. His name was John Newton, and he lived in England in the 1700s. He never liked listening to anyone. He loved doing things his own way. As he got older, he became a sailor on a ship. You see, on a ship, you have to listen to the captain, to scrub the deck, to climb the rigging, to man the sails, to get up, to go to bed. It was relentless, and John hated taking orders. He wanted to do things his own way. He wanted to say what he wanted to say. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. And when people asked him to stop, he carried on anyway, getting worse by the day. In fact, life on ship got so bad that when a passing ship came by, the captain of the ship asked for a swap, to swap someone, anyone, in trade of John Newton. John was still doing things his own way, living life by his own rules and not God's. But God still loved him, and God still loves people today too, so much so that he had a plan. John found himself on a ship going to Africa, but it wasn't for his holidays, this was for work. See, most people at that time dealt with precious cargo, like sugar and corn. But this ship carried people. John's job was to pick up people from Africa, to sail them across the world to places like America, and to sell them off to other people so that they could work for them in their houses. When they'd get to places like America, they'd pile them all off the ship, they'd stand them out in the marketplace and say, roll up, and sell people away. It was an awful job, and it was an awful thing to do. John used bad words and did bad things, but in fact, he was good at his job. And so eventually he was made the captain of a ship. Then came the day his life was changed forever. Whilst on board ship, travelling back home to England, there was a great big storm. The waves were crashing over the boat. The wind and the waves were howling. There was thunder and there was lightning, and John thought, what am I gonna do? So John got on his hands and knees. He said sorry to God for all the things he'd ever done wrong, the things he'd said, the things he'd done. He knew that Jesus died on a cross and came back to life again for him and for the wrong things he had done. And he asked Jesus to change his life forever. And in an instant, the wind and the waves stopped, and John became a friend of Jesus. When John came home, he changed his job. He started telling people about Jesus and how they could be friends with Jesus too. He told people it was cruel from the old job that he used to have, of picking up people and selling them to others. He told them it was all wrong. In fact, he became a pastor of a church, and week in and week out, he told them all about Jesus. But not only did he preach on a Sunday, he also started writing songs too, for people to sing at church. You see, looking back over his life, John could now see that he was completely different. His life was going in the wrong direction, with bad choices. But now he was going in the right direction, because Jesus had changed his life forever. And Christians still believe today that Jesus died on a cross and came back to life again. So no matter what people have said or done, they can be friends with Jesus now and forever in his home in heaven. He was now going in a new direction, almost as if he was lost and now he was found. And it made him pen one of the most famous songs that churches still sing today. And it goes like this: Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Well, that's all we've got time for Assembly Time today. But I hope you enjoyed my story of John Newton. And I hope you remember about making good choices and going in the right direction. But before we finish our assembly today, I'm going to pray and talk to God. And if you want to join in with me, you can say Amen at the end, because Amen means I agree too. So if you're ready, we do it a little bit like this. Hands up here. And we go in, and then die, and then tree. Ready? Up here. And I promise not to mess around. Okay? Well, maybe once. Ready? In, die, tree. Jesus, I thank you for assembly time today. Help us to remember the story of John Newton, who made bad choices and went in the wrong direction. And yet Jesus, when he found you, he suddenly started going in the right direction. Help us to make good choices and go in the right direction today, I pray. In your great name, Amen. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you very soon.